Good morning. Another Sunday morning coding stream. Let's switch it over. There we go. So I figured it makes sense to keep working on the Rust crate. That's what we were working on last week. Try to make some progress. Not that it wasn't progress last week. I think figuring out getting the Rust LSM and getting things working locally is good, and then figuring out. I feel like the understanding of what the issue was arrived. But there's some things I would like to do today on this. At some point, actually fixing the bug will be good. So I'm talking about this failing test case, which was supplied by where's the issue? Wrong solution. Issue number 10. So we're gonna try to fix this today. The fact that the library returns the incorrect value due to not handling rectangular matrices properly, apparently, and just realizing that I never actually replied to the to the issue to say anything. I probably should do that at some point. But I think, and then also on the stream last time, a viewer was very kind in opening a pull request with some dependency updates and things. But I want to do this. So we don't have, we had someone, maybe me, set up Travis CI back in the day, 8 years ago. And I think I'm going to set up GitHub Actions first and foremost, so that we can run our test suite and make sure things are working. And I wonder, let's see, how are we going to do this? How do I want to go about doing that? Well, let's go into Actions here. Hey, look, it even suggests Rust by GitHub Actions. Build and test the Rust project with Cargo. There we go. And so it gives us a workflows file. And I might just take this as is, right? So we're going to do Cargo build and Cargo test. At some point, I might want to set up something to automatically push releases to Cargo. That's kind of where this is going to go, right? We're going to fix the issue and then we'll push a new version. Let's see, what is it? Is it Cargo? What is the website? Cargo, yeah. Crates.io, yeah. Maybe. Yeah, just my personal. Okay. Now the question is this going to show something inappropriate on stream? Your email has not been verified. Is this... Do I have crates? Right, this is the question, is that, here we go. Yeah, 8 years ago. Owner is me. Settings. Yeah. I'll have to figure out, maybe if this is connected to my GitHub, I can actually just use a GitHub action to publish it anyway. But yeah, so that's, I'm going to continue going down this path, and then maybe we can merge this and then work on the bug some more. I may have too many tabs. Oh, here we go. Okay. So if we push to master, or we have a pull request against master, the job will run. And build and test seems fine. So I'm just going to commit this. Yep. And so then if I update this, okay. We can only see this happening. I don't need to be so zoomed in. There we go. That's better. All right. So build succeeded. And then test is happening. Maybe I should be zoomed in then. I mean, there's not really a lot to see right now, but I guess it is kind of hard to read on the stream. If one were so inclined. Okay, so that looks like everything ran successfully, which is good. So the question here, it's been a long time since I've done stuff in GitHub involving forks. Right, so this is a pull request from a fork into my repo. And I think that won't trigger, like normally when you see a pull request to a branch, you would be prompted to update it, right, if it wasn't up to date. Let's look at project settings. Rename branch. Also going to do this to be more consistent with other things. I don't think I have anything in a wiki anyway, so I'll just turn that off. Not using projects. Always suggest updating pull request branches. Allow auto merge, yes. Automatically delete head branches. So these are things I always turn on nowadays. Branch settings, branch protection rules. Good enough for now. Oh. Two-factor auth strikes again. always kind of a just a gut check, right? When I start typing something into a field like that, I can see the contents, but it doesn't matter that much. Doesn't do anyone any good unless they have it in the few, 30 seconds or whatever it's good, and add credentials to the account, which would be problematic. So this is interesting because it's a fork, right? So if I update branch, is that going to update the fork? I don't know how that works exactly. I would assume so. So confirm auto merge, and then I already looked at these changes, but take a quick look again. So this is just version bumping things and removing some unnecessary things because now we're on a newer edition of Rust, apparently. So I'll approve that with the proviso that, oh, interesting. See, I'm pretty sure that it didn't get the commit. It didn't run. All right, well, Okay, well, anyway, it's probably fine. Yeah, it's been renamed. There we go. We're gonna fix the local setup. Terrific. Issue 10. What did I right, I added the failing test case. Git rebase main. There we go. Push. So I don't get PowerShell here, right? So it's auto. It's like it's showing me a thing, but if I hit tab, that doesn't do anything because that's like trying to autocomplete a file name. Yeah, and enter doesn't accept the suggestion either. Okay, cool. Great. So oh, cool. Is that a new option? I don't remember that being there before. Cool. So why? Oh, right, because I just broke. I just broke the workflow that I created, right? Because this all says master. And I just changed it, so I broke it. Okay. That is interesting. Where's the button to create the pull request? Okay. Now, I can't approve my own change, which is going to be a problem in requiring an approval. So let's just turn that off. There, problem solved. Now we do see the Rust build happening. It succeeded. That's good. Hopefully the tests will pass as is as well. This is the test without the new test from the last stream. So these should all be passing. I have been thinking about what I will have to do to fix the failing test case. Oh no. I'm getting ahead of myself, perhaps. Let's see. Tests identical results panicked. Attempt to add with overflow. Interesting. Attempt to add with overflow. So our quick check tests perhaps give values that might result in a numerical overflow? Is that what I'm reading here? I mean, that makes sense. Interesting. Presumably, though, if I were to run this again, we may not get the same result. Since that is generating different test data to use. In the long term, I probably want to address that anyway. But going back to how to fix the issue from the last stream, it seemed that it felt like kind of I had painted the 8 years ago me. I kind of painted myself into a corner where if I really wanted to continue having the crate have a very general interface where it's not designed specifically to use in algebra and the types from that crate, that I would have to do a lot of work to define a general interface that would support the different operations that we need, and then okay. And then implement that for in algebra, which is the library we're getting the matrix data type from. So instead, I might just change the interface for this crate to directly take an in algebra matrix and not be generic. And then at some point in the future, I or someone who actually needs it to support some other interface can implement that. What is the actual... let's see here. Let's go over to here and see if I can remember. All right. So the test, yeah, it's called quick check, or at least the macro is called quick check. But I'm pretty sure the crate also is quick check. Yep. Cool. So quick check tests fail after upgrade with overflow error. So I guess I'll fix this. Panicked at attempt to, let's see here. Let's do some Googling. Well, this is subtract. Oh, here's an add. Ooh, so bright. Do you have a dark mode? Stack Overflow? Okay. We'll panic on overflow in debug mode. That's great. It's really good. A wrapping type is a wrapper. Make all of its operations wrap instead of panic. Yeah, I don't want to actually wrap. I think honestly the answer is probably to do something very different. So let's see. So let's look at the test. Okay, and then going back to the error. So we have an identical results test, and we can see here's a bunch of data in our matrix, and it fails. Right, so this function specifically what is this testing? This appears to be testing that if we run the algorithm twice, we get the same result, which is we're not doing anything that should result in inconsistent. Like there's no shared state between different runs. Maybe actually is that? Yeah, because we're not. Regardless, that doesn't matter. The point is that something inside of here is causing an integer overflow on a U32. Okay, and this is the other part that I didn't know. So we're dealing with 32-bit unsigned integers here, which means there must be a value in here. Interesting. If we are getting an error about attempt to add with overflow, do we add? Apparently we do, but add values. How do we interact with these values in this matrix? I mean, we do a lot of like comparison, and we do subtractions, right? As we saw last stream, I think we were looking at a thing where we were subtracting out things to find, to reduce down the values to find lots of zeros. Basically finding minimal cases between the different weights between the edges. But I wonder what adjust weights does. Okay, so here, yeah. So here we do add a value, we find smallest. Specifically, there's some rules in which we're scanning across the matrix, and there's like a masking thing, and so we're looking for things that are not masked, not covered, and then we're trying to find the smallest value, and then we add that smallest value, which could be a large number, to the matrix. So apparently, Quick Check has generated some values that result in it's just you. Well, welcome. Better than no one. This is just me thinking out loud, right? Trying to figure out why this is working this way. So like this is like over 2 billion. This is over 4 billion. I'm just kind of thinking about like what could we do to ensure that the data being generated isn't going to result in an overflow. Which I'll have to probably go back to the Quick Check library to see how that's supposed to work. Presumably, if we're telling, like, if we're, I think how it works, going off of, like, vague recollections from 8 years ago, it's like this should be able to see that this is a 32-bit unsigned integer. It's a matrix of them. And so it's generating matrices that will fit, like, with values that will fit in that. And so potentially, so taking a different tack here, there are constraints about how big of a value you can pass into this, unless we like if the operating data for the algorithm is the same size as the input, then we have to ask for the input to be constrained, since we may be adding values together. Alternatively, we could make the matrix, like this internal matrix, although, does this mutate the matrix? I think it does. Like, it changes it in place anyway. Which maybe there are pros and cons for that. But it'd be different if we had like a working matrix that the algorithm worked on. Okay, so let me find the Quick Check crates documentation. Yeah, property-based testing. Sometimes you want to test a property that only holds for a subset of the possible inputs. The property should neither pass nor fail on inputs outside of the subset you want to test. Properties return Boolean values. Take a step back and look at the type of the quick check function. Test any value with the type that satisfies the testable trait. Okay, so we could return discard. That's an option. Generating structs. Just wondering if there's some way that we can, like, potentially what we could do is we could just look at the constants of the matrix. Like we're doing here. Oh, we're already doing this partially, right? But if we just said that there shouldn't be a value that's like, I don't know, bigger than 2 billion. And discard any of those. At least that would, I think that should allow, let's look at the code again. So like, do we iterate over this adjust weight operation? You add smallest and then we remove smallest from some things? My vague sense of this algorithm is that we're not going to be continually adding values to the matrix. Generally, we are reducing the values in the matrix. Okay. Is there like a reference? There's a repository. Let's check that out. I guess what I'm really looking for is a way to like influence the generation of the data itself. Like in other languages that have a library like this, like QuickCheck, there's usually a way to like define how the data is being generated. In fact, this one being able to like apparently look at the signature of the function and generate data is cool, but maybe not what I'm used to from other in other settings. API is fully documented here. Here we go. This is the source of randomness. An instance of gin is passed to every invocation of arbitrary. Okay. Right. Arbitrary. Oh, right. Right. So currently, so remember, I was saying before that the way things are implemented right now is kind of a, the implementation of the algorithm is generic, and it doesn't know anything about this, the in algebra matrix. And so this is what connects those things together. And I could probably just cheat here. So first of all, let's do this. Let's go back to, let me get the terminal up. Now let's git status, git checkout, main. Okay, and then cargo test. Or do I need to run cargo build first? I don't know, but I want to. Interesting. We didn't get that error. On GitHub. Yeah. This is me learning this. So why we didn't get that same error here? So why is it different? Why? All right. As if this was Bash or something, but it's not. It's PowerShell. Those days are still around. People still use PHP. PHP is quite different in some ways, and not in others. Django's still around too. I don't even know what version that's on anymore. Ruby on Rails and all that. But why is this failing? I think I'm just going to delete this. Interesting. It's very insistent that I can't delete that, but I can, and I will. And it's gone. All right, so I see. So that's where cargo was installed. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. Cargo built. So now that works, apparently. So whatever I did, aww. Interesting. So, why does this work in the GitHub action, but it doesn't work for me locally? Is there something different about the versions of things? In algebra macros, V021. V021. Rust, it's called that for a reason. You know, I don't know where the Rust language's name specifically came from. It was created in 2006. Origins. Yes, I remember Servo. It was named after the rust fungus because it's so hardy. Rusts are fungal plant pathogens of the order, however you say that. Rust fungi are highly specialized plant pathogens with several unique features. Yep, so that's where the name comes from, apparently. According to Wikipedia. Wikipedia is never wrong. So we had a success 38 minutes ago. So it's interesting. All of these operations are being passed edition 2018. Why is it doing that? There might be a setting in the Hmm. Yeah. What version of Rust does this have? So we can do Rust version, and now Rust C version. Cargo version. Okay, now those should match, right? So if I were to change this, actually, I mean with verbose, there's so many tabs. Just add some more details. I don't suppose this is nice enough to tell us the version that we are running under. Nope, I don't see it. Okay. Hmm. 172.1. I mean, it's pretty close. It's just, wait. 1.72.1. The build was on 9.13. Oh, right. So this is a patch for 1.72. Which is why... Oh, right. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, 10.3. There we go. Got it. So why inconsistent? In algebra macros, src lib. So I may just need to try downgrading something. I'm not sure what. Let's see. Releases. Oh, there weren't. It's just tags. Right. 2 weeks ago was the last thing. So 0.32.3. I guess I could try doing this, right? Just bump the minor version 2. Since I had thought it was established that version. Was going to work, but perhaps not. Am I doing something wrong here? Let's start with clean. Update? Oh. Huh. Hold on, let me go take a step back here. And let's run cargo update. this the thing we need to do? That did things. Cargo built. Cargo test. I'm hoping this just makes it all work now. We get past an algebra macros. So the issue seems to be a need to run cargo update to update the lock file that's not there anymore. Oh great, now we're seeing the same thing we saw in GitHub. Okay, cool. So right, this is not bash. So there is a lock file there. Cool that it's not even, yeah, it's a hidden item. Great. Magic. Okay, so it's great. Real good. So back on track. So what I was thinking we could potentially do here to make this work right now is, like, if we have our tests, I could either change the tests to use like a U16 instead of a U32, or I could change the interface to like maybe convert it into a U32 or a 64. Would that even work? I don't know. 64, or is that? So if we run cargo test, I don't know that we need to run build. Oh, that's not gonna work. It's like, oh, that's a mismatch type, right? So to do that, what I would need to do is I would need to I wonder, could I? Okay, we say self.transpose or self.clone. Could I? Okay, here's the information for our matrix, and we just derive clone and copy. I'm wondering if there's a way to, yeah, it might just be easier to go to the algebra docs. Okay, there we go. And so we have a matrix. We got constructors, operations, in place resizing, from row iterator, from function, identity. Like if I have a matrix composed out of 32-bit integers, and I want to make one out of 64-bit integers, how would I accomplish such a thing? Oh, interesting. The mute key also does something else in here. Anyway. So the red squiggly line is great. So there's something wrong with this line, sure. But what? Comparison operators cannot be changed. That's fair. So that was... okay. That's an interesting thing that it says that I'm doing. Should be 64. Okay. Comparison operators cannot be changed. Fair. Okay. Expected reference. Found other thing. Copy from our original matrix. Either of those things. Okay. And expected something. What does the rest of that message say? Okay, you know what I should do? I should just run. Okay, so it found a 32-bit, but expected 64-bit. So I failed at saying that this is supposed to be 32-bit. 64-bit, I mean. Is that where that's supposed to go? Nope. Is this... Huh. What about this? Okay, so I don't get that error about the chaining of comparison, which is fun, right? I add more less than integrated signs. Okay, so now copy from doesn't like this. What? How do we solve this? Let's see, copy from. Clone owned. There it is. Matrix T is other. Fills this matrix with the contents of the other one. Must both have the same shape. Oops. There we go. Raw storage. I guess that. Okay, this is not feeling like a winning direction. Let's back out. Now, instead, I would really like to be able to constrain what QuickCheck produced for numbers that are being put into the matrix. Okay. Is this where we started? Yeah. I guess. Okay. Okay. If matrix dot, it'd be cool if we could find like the maximum value. Absolute value of the component with the largest absolute value. Okay, cool. There's probably a max. Is there a search? Nope. Argmax, CA max. Max. Returns the component with the largest value. Hey, go figure. Alright. So, if matrix.max greater than what's the safe value here? I don't. Also, here's the thing I don't know on Rust. Can you do 2 to the 31? Turn test result. Discard? Discord? No. So, that was a much simpler way of doing this than what I was trying to do before, but does it fix it? Do we need to run build? Like, I felt like... No, it didn't do anything. Were there 3 failing ones before? Hey, good thing I wrote down, so to speak, the error from before. So before, 3 were failing. Oh, right, and I only changed 1 test, so that makes sense. So we fixed 1. For some definition of fixed. Like, I feel like this should be maybe the library should... I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that this crate can do if you give it a value that's going to result in doing in overflowing the width of the elements of the matrix. Yay! I fixed the problem. Okay. Fixes number 14. So. Oh, right. So, pulling back here, the reason, right, so I was trying to update the workflow, and the test failed. Right, okay, so that's why we're not seeing a build here. So I'll merge this, get a tab closed, update this branch. Oh, right. So, once we get this, oh, right, I need to remove a thing. Yes. I don't want that version. Let's see, view file. I don't want this line where I'm echoing out the version. We don't need that there. That was just to kind of check a thing. All right, so pull requests. Here we go. So we should see that the tests pass. And I could merge this. And then we can update the other pull request and hopefully see it failing. I think there must be a delay. Before status checks show up there, unfortunately. Oh well. Someday that will be a condition. Okay, so get this merged in. And then come back to here. Update branch. And we're just down to one pull request. Well, that took a little bit longer to get through than I was expecting, but that's how it goes. So I'm expecting that this build will fail because we haven't fixed the issue yet that we started looking at last stream. But that will be the next thing, which is going to involve rewriting the something. Some things. Let's see, specifically, I think we're going to be able to get rid of a lot of this trait stuff. And I think what I intend to do is change solver here to take a matrix from the in algebra crate and not take a size. And yeah, I think so. In that case, T is probably going to be still generic. There's going to be like there's going to be index mutable of edge. T output weight. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work. Oh, hey, look. There's a big warning here. I warned. I put a warning here long ago, right? There's potential for overflow if the values in matrix are larger than 1/2 the maximum representable value of T output. Well, the test did eventually turn that out, that can happen. Let's go check this. Yeah, so good. We have hopefully one failing test case. Yep, solve issue 10. Failed. Because slice did not contain the right number of elements. Alright, I think we had changed the test. Alright, I'm not on the right branch. But I think I temporarily changed the test to add a fake extra column to make it square so that it would work. Folder, there we go. I closed Vim. Okay, plugin updates, cool. Is that what I wanted to do? Git checkout issue 10. Git pull. Yeah. Git branch. Set upstream to origin issue 10. Cool. Set up to track remote branch main from origin. What? Oh. There we go. Okay, so Interesting. Number of rows should be 3. Oh, right. So I temporarily added a row here to make it square, and I changed that to 4x4. And then when I removed the extra row, I didn't change the number back. Okay, so that's what happened there. Git status, git commit, undo temp change for square matrix verification, something like that. Yeah, I don't want you to push to main. Typically current branch, git pull. Git push. Yeah, good. I don't know why you're pushing to main anyway. Alright. So, can we see our status checks yet? Build. Aha! It's just called build. For some reason. Cool. And see, now it's a required check for pull requests, which is good. Okay, so this issue should be marked as closed now because I merged the pull request. Good, 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 good. All right, so success in a way. So we're about halfway into the stream for today, so I'm gonna take a quick break, refill my water, stretch my legs, and when I return, maybe actually working on this issue finally, and hopefully fixing it today. All right, BRB.